Well, exactly. I think we all I think we.
You know what I mean? You know when they like going for the kiss and you're like, ugh.
Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back to the SaVeg podcast.
Another day, another episode.
Another day, another episode.
Yeah.
Some of us had a mental breakdown this week.
Rose, do tell.
It could be me, or it could be not me. But anyway, how are we feeling today?
I think everyone's feeling fantastic. Rose, the real question is, how are you feeling? You know?
Oh! Finally, you ask after 2 hours of us speaking. Just kidding.
How's your day been, Rose? What's been going on with
My
you?
day's been good.
Tell the audience, the listeners, how you've been doing.
I mean, I took the dogs out for 2 walks,
Very nice.
and that's it.
Sounds like an amazing Monday.
Yes, I went for a workout,
Okay.
and that's it. Wow, my life is really fun.
Mine was go to the office, do my job, and then
Yeah, I prefer my life.
yeah,
2 walks with dogs.
yeah. That's
That's
much
the
better.
dream, really.
That is the dream. You be living the dream.
That's honestly all I want to do in life is
You be-
just walk my dogs
God damn.
and feed them and stuff and take naps.
You don't want to socialize with people. You don't want to.
I mean, that's true. I do want to
You don't
socialize.
ever want to see me. Okay.
Well, I do want to socialize, but with people I want to socialize with, you know.
Okay, guys.
No, I mean
and on
you,
that positive
Daniel.
note, see you later, guys.
Anyway, guys, so we're going to start off with a podcast shout out. We got one new Patreon.
We sure do. We'd like to welcome Manny.
Hi, Manny.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the Patreon family. If you guys haven't joined yet, patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. That's going to get you bonus episodes every single month only for the Patreon members. We're going to record our Patreon exclusive for April after this.
Yes.
So definitely check it out, you guys. It's only starting at $3 a month. So cheap.
Yep.
And you get every episode a week earlier than everyone else. And you get ad-free content.
And it hasn't gone up with inflation. It's been $3 for a while,
I know,
guys.
right?
So
we should raise it to $5 to adjust for inflation,
yeah,
but
exactly.
we won't.
We won't.
So yeah, check it out, you guys. The link is always in the show notes. And anyways,
Yeah. So today,
I picked the story.
Rose picked the stories. She got some stories for us. I'm excited.
Yeah.
In case you guys, Rose was alluding to my nervous breakdown this weekend, so that's why she was like, "I'm going to take some stuff off your plate." Yeah, I just have a lot going on, guys.
But I feel like you handle it very well.
Normally, I deal with stress really well, and like normally, I feel like I can balance
but even
my
when you were
life.
saying you were having a mental breakdown, you were very normal. Like you weren't like,
well,
like you were very normal. Other people would probably break down crying.
I was close.
Were you?
No,
Aw.
actually, I wasn't.
No, you weren't. You were very normal. I was like, you don't seem stressed at all, but I'm sure you were in the inside.
I am on the inside.
Oh, God damn,
because I've been
Daniel.
having some stomach issues, which I was telling Rose about. I'm
And
not
I
going to
said
go
it was
into
probably the stress.
Yeah, I won't go into details, but like normally everything like works quite well, and it's just been like I've been like a little bit bloated and just like not feeling great, and I think it is stress related.
I think the gut is very heavily related to your mental health, Daniel.
For sure. And right now my mental health be a bit low.
Oh, goddamn, Daniel! I hope you feel better.
Goddamn thing can use. Anyway,
well, first, should we talk about the show that we've been watching on Netflix?
Yes.
Guys, I've been obsessed.
Rose,
Daniel's a bit
I got beef.
You got beef with beef?
Mm-hmm. I got beef with beef.
Oh, actually, this actually ties into one of the stories.
Ooh, okay.
So Beef is the show that we're talking about. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's called Beef. I was like, can I watch this as a vegan? It's called Beef.
God damn.
Can I consume this
Can
media?
Can you consume that beef?
It'd be called Beef. Anyways, it's called Beef. It has nothing to do with beef. It does have something to do with
It has to do with
beef.
like the slang beef, right? Like, oh, I got beef with this person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's about 2 people. We can't give away too much. It's kind of like a dark comedy. That's how I would describe it.
I also think it's like a
drama.
I want to say it's a satire on life. You know, it's very that like there's some key pivotal moments there where there's certain things that are said and done which like make you question everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
not to be vague or anything at all.
No. Well,
but
no,
we
like,
can't tell you anything. So basically,
can we not say anything?
Well, I can tell you the premise. like basically it starts off. I mean, this is like well known, right?
Yeah.
This is what the actors say as well.
Yeah.
So basically, it starts off with two people. There's a woman, Ali Wong, who's a famous comedian, and then there's the man, Steven Yeun, who is a famous actor.
Yeah.
And they're both Asian American. Steven Yeun is Korean.
Yeah.
And he is Korean in the show as well.
Yeah.
And then Ali Wong, I think she's Chinese.
Yeah.
She plays a Chinese person.
I think she's Chinese too.
And then I think in real life she's like half Vietnamese or something. But either way, so they don't know each other, and then they get into this like road rage incident.
Yeah.
Okay. Where they're both kind of like very stressed out for very different reasons in their own lives. And then because of this road rage, because they're already stressed in their normal life, they take it far.
Yeah.
They take it too far.
But I wouldn't even say that it's necessarily that they're stressed in their normal life. I mean, they are, but I would argue that they're just like
unhappy.
Yes. They're just unhappy in
very different ways as well.
In extremely different ways.
Interesting. Yeah.
Which is kind of unique. And that plays into factors later on.
Sure.
Which, without giving away too much, but again, it's just this. It's just like this feeling of dissatisfaction that they have.
Yes.
In general with their life.
Yes, very good. And then and it's only 10 episodes?
10 episodes. Each episode's like 30 minutes, right? I think.
Yeah, so
they're like
it's
short
an
and
easy
sweet.
watch, but it's
Yeah.
like I watched it in like I think 3 or 4 days.
God damn.
Which I mean, some people say they watch it in like a day or two.
I know. I don't understand. Like, I mean, I don't think I've ever watched a show. Well, I probably have in a day.
I'm sure there has been something that we've watched in a day. The problem is it's
Breaking
with Netflix.
Bad.
You didn't watch it all in a day.
Remember we watched it in like 2 days over the holidays.
The entirety of the
Okay, maybe it was
there's
like 3 days.
6 seasons.
I know. Maybe it was like 4 or 5 days, but like we literally
We did nothing.
We did nothing.
We did nothing.
We literally like, and if I don't know how many episodes.
This is like when we were living in London, and then me and Daniel, we were flatmates.
Yeah,
flatmates, and I think all of our friends had maybe gone home for the holidays, and we were just like in London, and when you're away from home, and you don't have family there, you're like, okay, what are we gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we just like sat down and we didn't sit down, we laid down,
and
then just watched it in our laptop because we didn't have TV.
I remember one of the days too. I remember like checking my Fitbit, and it was like that day that we watched. Like honestly, I've never had a lower step count. I think I was like maybe 500 for the whole day.
Oh God.
Like,
and that's bad.
Oh yeah, because that's probably me like walking down the stairs, getting something from the fridge, going to the bathroom, and then going back to bed.
And then I swear Fitbit also counts when you're like moving your arms.
So basically,
so
I was
clearly
like a
you
vegetable.
haven't moved at all.
Yeah,
basically.
I wonder why I didn't go to my aunt's that Christmas. That's weird.
Don't know.
Maybe we didn't go there.
I don't know.
Anyways,
so yes, I recommend watching Beef, but there's people having some beef with Beef.
I liked it.
No, there's drama, Daniel.
There's drama. There's beef about beef?
Yes, there's beef about beef.
Is it like the message that it sends?
No. There's actual beef. Let me get into it.
Oh goddamn! Is that one of the stories, Rose?
Yeah.
Goddamn, there's beef about beef.
So you know the guy that plays the angry guy? What's his name? Vincent? No, what's his name? Victor? What's his name? The cousin. The cousin that keeps going to jail. Oh, why did I say Vincent?
I think it's Isaac. I'm pretty sure it's Isaac.
Yeah, you're right. It's cousin Isaac.
Yeah, but he's not really that angry. Well, I mean, he is.
Well, he's like the kind of gangster. Yeah. So anyways, there's a character named Isaac, and he's played by do you recognize that guy?
No.
His name's David Cho, and he's kind of like famous in this like LA scene, I think. Okay. He's like he's Korean American. And he's a famous artist actually, and he did the artwork for the like in the beginning of every episode there was like weird artwork.
That weird, it almost looks like a famous painting. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like not a Monet, but like a Renaissance art or something.
I think he did at least some of the artwork for that. So I don't know if it was all of it, but he did some of it. So he's kind of like a public figure, okay? Yeah. But apparently he's not even an actor. Anyways, he's a public figure. He's an artist, and apparently years ago, when Facebook was like going public or whatever, he was invited to paint some kind of mural in the Facebook office.
Okay.
And I can't remember by who. I think it was the guy that's played by Justin Timberlake. What's his name? Anyway, Stephen Parker. What's his name? Anyway,
Stephen Parker.
One of the dudes that was involved with Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
Invited David Cho to go and like do a mural and a painting or whatever in the Facebook office, and then instead of being paid cash, he was paid with Facebook stock. Oh god damn! Which then, of course, we all know how Facebook became. It became like
huge.
$1 trillion fucking business?
Yeah.
I don't know. So he became basically like, I don't know, a multi-millionaire. Like I think it became worth like $200 million or something. Can you imagine?
That's insane.
You do one piece of artwork. Can you fucking imagine?
No.
Take the goddamn stock.
I know. Exactly. This is what I have to say.
But what if it fails? Then you get paid nothing.
This is true. It's always a risk. But to be honest, like I feel like a lot of the time, like this is how a lot of people make money from startups as well. Like if you work at a startup and instead, I mean, you obviously get your salary, but it might be a bit lower, but then you get stock in exchange. It's like, if you have a good feeling about the company's being successful, the best thing to do is not to sell your stock and hold it.
Right.
Because then if the company ever IPOs or somebody else comes in and buys the company, generally they'll buy the stock at a premium as well.
Sure.
And you'll get cashed out.
Right. God damn, Daniel. Nobody paid me stock.
I know. God dang. Me neither.
So anyway, so dude's rich. That's kind of the background. I don't know that much about this guy. I've seen him around, whatever. He's kind of got this like rough around the edges sort of persona. So I guess he had a podcast with some Asian porn star. I don't know. Like, I don't know her name. Anyway, he had a podcast and they, again, LA Asian people scene. It's like a whole thing. Yeah. It's like a whole culture.
Yeah.
They had this podcast together, and in one episode, I don't know how many years ago this was, but in one episode, this guy starts, so I don't even think he's a comedian. Is he a comedian? Anyway, he starts talking about this one time he was getting a massage, okay? And he basically starts describing how he kind of like sexually assaulted the massage therapist.
Oh, God.
And in very graphic detail as well. And it's quite like, it's out there.
God, I honestly, I feel so bad, like, for people, because a lot of people go into that industry, like in the masseuse industry, like, because they like to give massages.
Right.
But like, God, I just can't imagine, like, if I was a masseuse.
Can you imagine?
There's probably so many creepy men.
Ew, exactly. And like some of them probably just think like, ooh, this is my way of.
Yeah.
Ew.
Getting a happy ending because, Yeah.
So anyways, this clip has resurfaced. Okay. So later, this dude. Okay, first of all, the dude claims that he made it up, which I don't believe. Because I listened to a part of it, and this just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you make this shit up? It wasn't funny. It wasn't like it was like a full. You know how like sometimes when people make up a story, there's like a full. When people do stand up comedy, there's like a punchline. There was no punchline.
Yeah,
it was just him. Like. Just telling the story.
And why is it only coming out now when it's resurfacing that it's not true?
Well, he may have said that before as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But let me just see. Like, basically, and it wasn't just sexual assault. It was basically like the word that rhymes with grape.
Yes.
That's basically kind of what it was. Anyways, so that's the kind of like
the background at
this moment. So Beef Cast creator released joint statement addressing David Cho's rape comments. Okay. Yeah. Oh God, I said it, guys. I said the word. So let me see this. Following the series release earlier this month, a 2014 clip, of Cho's now defunct podcast resurfaced, which showed him talking about sexually assaulting a massage therapist. The 46-year-old apologized for the comments at the time, claiming that the anecdote was a fabrication for the sake of the podcast. Again, I don't believe it. Yeah. Because it was just so graphic and like unnecessary. And then like even the co-host was like, dude, you basically like,
graped.
Yes. You basically graped her. Anyways, on Friday, Beef showrunner Lee Sung-jin, I guess that's like one of the creators, and his stars, so the main two stars, released a statement calling Cho's story undeniably hurtful and extremely disturbing. The story David Cho fabricated 9 years ago is undeniably hurtful and extremely disturbing. We do not condone this story in any way, and we understand why this has been so upsetting and triggering. The statement read, "We are aware David has apologized in the past for making up this horrific story, and we've seen him put the work to get mental health support he needed over the last decade to better himself and learn from his mistakes. Blah, 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 blah." I don't know. I think he's making it up, that he made it up. But I know, who knows? I don't know. But this begs the question. Should people cancel the show because of this situation?
This is a tough one. So I've seen this happen, actually, well, not recently, but there was a series of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
Where a different kind of situation happened, but one of the contestants, Sherry Pie.
Okay.
Basically, while on the show, it came out that Sherry Pie, she works in, I want to say like New York or somewhere, like anyway, where there's lots of like theater stuff, right? And she was actually like a casting director or like something like this, or she actually posed to be a casting director and had like basically enticed young men to like send her like not nudes but like, you know, explicit stuff in hopes of them, they wanted to become famous, right? And she had like said, look, I'll help you get famous, blah 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 blah, and then really was just taking advantage of these young men. I don't think there was anything, I don't know if there's anything like
full
physical,
on, right?
But like it definitely was like manipulative and stuff. So it came out while the show was filming. And so what they did is they still finished the series of RuPaul's Drag Race. She wasn't in the finale, Sherry Pie.
Oh, because it came out while it was filming.
Yeah. And what they did on the entire series, like you guys can go and watch this. I can't remember what season it is, but on the entire series, at the beginning of the show, even though Sherry Pie is still in a lot of episodes.
Right.
It says that in light of events, Sherry Pie was removed from the competition, blah, 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 in like every episode.
Okay.
So like towards the end of the show, like she's just gone. Like she's not in anymore. But it happened like during filming. So they'd already filmed so much of the series and then later cut it out.
That's hard to cut out as well.
Exactly. And like I think to myself, like this is, so basically my long response to that question is I don't necessarily think that the show should be canceled because, you know, there's a lot of other people that, you know, put a lot of hard work and everything else into the show. That being said, like maybe, you know, if there is a season 2 of Beef, maybe that's like something that needs to
come
in.
You think there'd be season 2?
Who knows?
God dang.
You think I only got beef with one person, Rose?
I don't know. I think they should end it with this season.
Yeah.
It was a good ending, I thought. Well, you didn't like the ending, but anyway.
I know. But I think like, depending on the series, right? Like, I don't think, number one, I don't think necessarily that the show should be pulled completely.
Right. Oh, I don't think so.
Because, like, think about this. Imagine, like, we work on this project, right? We put a lot of time, a lot of energy, and we happen to be working with a bunch of other people.
Sure.
Then it comes to light that we didn't know about. That one other person.
I wonder if they knew it. Maybe they didn't. Let's assume they didn't.
Let's assume they didn't. Because, you know what, honestly, like, how often do we work with people that we don't know their backstory?
Right.
Like, we don't know. We know what they tell us. We don't know all this other dramatic stuff. Like, and imagine you put all this hard work, all this dedication, all this time into this project that's like your baby, and it's hugely successful. And then it comes out later that one person that happens to be in this project with you did some really crazy or shady stuff. So, you know, maybe what they could add is like a disclaimer on the show or like, you know, something to like not discredit, but just say like this person will no longer be in future episodes or whatever it might be. But I don't think you should take away from the show itself.
Yeah,
I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I mean, it's shitty. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
You know,
it's so shitty. I still, for the life of me, like I don't understand how people can even do stuff like that.
I
like,
know. I mean,
it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you know, I
know.
It baffles my mind.
And to say it on, again, maybe he didn't do it. Maybe he did make it up.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it, but maybe he made it up.
I mean, but why would you make that up?
But why would you make that up? That's
like, it's so stupid.
That's so stupid. Why would you make that up? Like, I don't know. And then the way that he was describing it as well, it was very like, because I mean, thankfully, I've never been in this situation, but it was almost like the woman didn't know what to do, right? So maybe the guy, maybe he thought this is like consent. This is where it's kind of like shitty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's basically like, this is what I did. And then she just kind of stood there.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what? Because I think like what we think we would do in that situation is like, be like, fuck you, fuck off. Or like, you know, whatever. But I think a lot of people freeze.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Well, yeah.
Oh, God. Let's not talk about it too much.
I know. Like, I just don't even know what... I also don't know what I would do. Imagine I go to my, like, you know... somebody in my office or something, and all of a sudden they're just like...
Yeah, because, like, we have to think about it, right? It's like, we're human beings, and we kind of don't want to... Even if they're doing something bad, we almost, like, don't want to accuse them of something, or we don't want to make the situation awkward. I mean, yeah.
It's crazy.
God damn, it'd be crazy as hell.
So I think
I've definitely kissed some guys I didn't want to.
Well, exactly. I think we all. I think we.
You know what I mean? You know when they like going for the kiss and you're like, ugh.
We've all done it.
I've definitely pulled some guys off. But
yeah. Get off me!
But sometimes I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do this.
I know.
But then
I had one instance in London that was like a horrible experience. And I was like, this guy was like so like too much and like right in my face.
He raped your face, Daniel.
Yes. And I was like, get off me. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh.
Like, it's so gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've definitely, you know, let it happen when I didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ugh. And then afterwards, I'm like, ugh.
And you're like, oh, God, why did I do that?
Oh, it's so gross. So anyways.
Yeah.
So that's the drama. Don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that they should cut him out of the show. Like, what the fuck should they do?
Yeah,
it's already out. Like,
it is already out. And I just think like from my perspective, like, and again, I could be looking at this the wrong way. I just like all of the other people put so much work into the show.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe they didn't know that. I'm sure that like a lot of the cast didn't know that. Like,
right.
You know, because again, like, you know, I think about like my office job and I work with loads of different people.
Right.
I don't know their backstory. I don't know what they've been doing.
And maybe they
I wouldn't ask. Like,
right.
I'm not going to be like, oh, Rose, have you ever talked about graping someone on a podcast? Like,
well, maybe they thought, I think also because this happened in 2014. So I think he did address it because I'm sure this caused drama, right? After he said it.
Yeah.
Even though it was a different time on the internet in 2018 or 2014.
2014, yeah.
I'm sure like it caused drama, which is why he said again that he apparently made it up. And I guess we do have to, you know, innocent until proven guilty, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So maybe they all thought, or he thought it was all good. That was like almost 10 years ago.
And the person hasn't come forward, it sounds like.
I know, but that's hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's really hard to do. So maybe he did make it up. Who the fuck knows? But either way, it's fucked. You know what I mean?
Either way,
it's fucked.
If he made it up, it's like, that's also fucked up.
Like,
why would you do that?
Man.
And if you didn't make it up, it's also fucked up. So either way, you can't win.
Yep. So anyways,
it's a lose-lose.
Ew, and like it just makes me look at him in such a different light.
I know.
I'm like, he already looked kind of creepy to begin with, you know? It doesn't help.
This is true. This is true.
So that's beef, guys. So, you know, watch it with your own discretion. If you think that it's not something you can watch based on what we just said, then don't watch it. His involvement, I mean, it's not huge.
Yeah, he's not like
he's not like a main
He's
character.
not like the main guy,
yes.
right? Like that would be different. But like also, do you think it's kind of refreshing and nice that like people that are playing certain roles are like for example, like, you know, the people that were playing Korean roles were actually Korean?
Yes.
You know, because there's been so many like shows and stuff where it's like they'll have somebody that's like supposed to be like, let's say Korean or Japanese played by somebody that's actually Chinese or like, you know what I mean? Or
to
they'll
be
like
fair,
mix
I don't know if because you know, like her husband's supposed to be Japanese. Was he Japanese?
We should find out.
We
right
should
now.
find out. Now I'm curious.
I know, because I was just thinking. I was like, because I remember there was that. What's that show?
Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, was it Kim's Convenience? A lot of them
so that's
are
the one
Korean.
that I think it's cringe because a lot of people love it though. So like, no issues if you love it. For me, because I'm Korean, it was very cringe because I think the accents are so over the top.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, it was too much. Like it was just too over the top. And like half the contestants, half the cast, I think
Korean.
they're not even Korean.
Which baffles me. It's like honestly,
you couldn't find a few Koreans.
I know, but this is but it's also the same. There's so many straight actors that play gay roles,
right?
And
Do
I'm
you think
like,
there's just too small of a percentage
of gay actors? I think there's actually a lot.
Well, this begs another important question. Do you think that that's extremely important? For example, like, we could argue both, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you are acting.
Yeah.
So I do understand to some degree that, you know, especially when it's like, let's say Asians that don't get much representation or gay people that don't get much representation, then I do get it to some degree. But at the same time,
it's like I know there was a lot of like not backlash, but like, you know, like in the trans community as well, when there's not a trans person playing a trans role,
right?
They're kind of like, well, there's not enough, you know.
But how many trans people are in the acting business?
Yeah, but then it could also question that maybe the reason that there's not so many trans people in the business is because other people are playing trans roles that could be going to trans people. You know,
could be.
I get it. You're right. Part of it's acting, but part of it's also like, you know, I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it?
I don't think there's a hard, fast rule to be like, you know, this has to be played by this. I mean, especially when it's something, well, for me, I guess it bugged me in Kim's Convenience because it's literally about Korean American family.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I guess we could say, you know, like
they're acting.
Yeah. Not very well. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Let me find out.
Find out if the husband is.
Okay. Let's see. So, husband dude. Yeah. His name is Joseph Lee. Oh, it's not looking good. That does not sound like a Japanese name, my dear. He's Korean American. Oh, your theory just went to the gutter.
My theory's gone to... What about his mom? Was she Japanese?
Let's find out.
Because she was supposed to be Japanese as well.
She looked kind of Japanese.
Yumi.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Oh, yeah, she's Japanese. Fumi. So the mom was Japanese. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, like, they're kind of, you know, most of the time, they were doing well. Because Steven, the guy was Japanese. Or the guy was Korean. Yep. And then the guy that played the brother, the hottie.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're going to watch any episodes, watch episode 5.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You'll get to see one of Rose's favorite scenes in a TV series on that one, you know?
Anyway, yeah, they're Korean. So it was nice. And it was nice to have like kind of an Asian cast without, but also adding in the cultural element as well.
Yeah.
But without making it like the sole purpose of the show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, when I watched Crazy Rich Asians, like it was funny and stuff, but it was just such a big fucking... That was the whole premise of the show. It was like, oh my God, I'm Asian and I'm fucking rich and I'm Asian. And by the way, did I mention that I'm Asian?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, calm the fuck down.
Yeah. It's almost nice because it was like almost refreshing in the show Beef because I also could relate to the characters. Do you know what I mean? As someone that's not Asian, I was like, a lot of the things that they were going through were things that I've gone through. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like relatable to some degree. And also I think that it was a really interesting juxtaposition as well, because obviously you had the main character with his like traditional more traditional parents. He was
quite traditional,
and he was like torn between this like, you know, and you could even see it. I'm gonna reveal one little spoiler. It's not a huge spoiler, but like he always would talk about like he was like torn between the like traditional Korean, I guess, ideologies or something versus like Western. Like one of the things he brought up, he was like telling his younger brother, he's like, do not date white women, blah 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 blah. But in the meantime, you know,
dude's looking at
white women in porn. He actually specifically, there's one scene where he's typing in his computer, Asian man with white woman, and like that's what he was into. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, you know,
but then you could argue that he sees white women as maybe like material versus Asian or Korean women as wifey material.
True, and he could just see like white women as just a
like
sex toy.
Sex symbol, exactly. Yeah. So that's maybe, I think that was maybe the one of the kind of
it could be that too
messages, but also I think it is also that kind of ironic.
Like
factor.
Being torn, you know, like
God damn, we'd be doing a full on.
Should we? Do you think we should do an episode on the future on beef?
God damn, Daniel, I don't know.
Maybe also Love Is Blind 4. No.
Speaking of Love Is Blind, that's another part of our story.
Oh,
today.
are we talking about the Vanessa backlash?
Well, there's a lot of drama with Love
Holy
Is Blind right
shit,
now.
guys!
You guys, so today is all about entertainment news.
I love it.
Apparently, a little bit of lighthearted news. Although we did start the segment talking about graping, so you know, maybe not lighthearted enough.
Not that lighthearted.
So I guess we'll talk about Love Is Blind drama.
Yes.
So first of all, guys, we talked about this, didn't we? Did we talk about the fucking reunion? Oh yes, we talked about it because it like broke the TV and like everyone's like fucking freaking out.
Everyone was losing their shit.
And then people started a goddamn petition because apparently people have nothing to do with their lives. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Like it's one thing to watch a show, and criticize it, but to start a petition.
And you know it's not funny, but I'll just say, you know what's so funny, but not actually funny, guys. One of our friends sent us, I think it was one of our friends sent us the link of the petition. So I did open it initially, and I remember at first it was like, what
was the petition? It was to get Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey off of Love Is Blind as hosts.
They wanted them removed as hosts, and they wanted new hosts on. And so the first thing was like, get up to 10,000 people to sign it, you know? And I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And at the time there was like 4,000 people. And I just happened to, you know, when you leave your web browsers open? Yeah. So I have all these different screens open, and I was like looking for something else, and I was closing some of my open tabs. And then I looked and I was like, oh, this petition's on there. So I reopened it. And at this point it was like, get to 30,000 signatures.
Oh my God.
And they were like, already at 20,000. I was like, oh my God, this is actually ridiculous. And then I haven't opened it up for a while, guys, but then I saw it like, I don't know, a couple days ago, and I just happened to just open it up again, and it was at almost 50,000 signatures.
Oh my God, people are insane.
Like,
I just feel bad for them now.
I honestly...
people are like fucking acting like she's like murdered somebody.
I know, and like honestly, guys, people are blowing up her comment section on Instagram.
People need to calm down. This is bullying, okay? Yeah. You need to stop.
I went onto her Instagram and they were like, oh my God. So she removed comments on a few of her like first and second posts, I think. But on her third one, it wasn't removed. God. And so many people in the comment section like, bitch, you should have taken the comments off all your pictures. You are disgusting. All this stuff. I was like, oh my God.
Like, okay, I get it. I was annoyed too, but people, you need to calm the fuck down, okay? Yeah. Like, it's a show. Yes, she didn't do a good job as a host. Mm-hmm. That's it, okay?
Exactly.
Maybe she was a little bit mean to some of the guests. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like saving lives. They're not working lives. On the ER.
Exactly. Like, calm the fuck down.
But I also feel bad for I do feel bad for her. Like, don't get me wrong.
I feel bad for anyone that gets so much internet hate. I even feel bad for some of the people that were on the show, even though like, yes, I didn't like them on the show. Yeah. But again, like, you are not a better person by harassing them afterwards on their social media.
Like, I don't get what the thing that I don't get, right, is Like, how do people like? Yeah, don't get me wrong. I did go onto Vanessa's page and I looked at the comments.
Yeah.
Did I?
Look at comments.
Yeah, I look at that stuff sometimes. I didn't add a comment, first of all, and secondly, it's like, and I looked at the petition. I didn't sign it, but then I'm like, where do these people have all this time to craft these huge comments and fill all this stuff?
With a reality show.
I know,
that's what kills me.
I know, and I'm just like, really? Like, you care that much about this fucking shitty reality TV show that, like, frankly, guys, season 4 was probably the worst season
and everyone
of existence.
Talking about it.
I know, everyone's having a conniption on season 4, and I'm like, guys, it's not even a good season.
It was a shitty ass season. It wasn't even interesting.
No.
But there's more drama.
Oh,
other than the Vanessa Lachey drama.
Yeah.
So basically, do you remember in season 2 there was that girl Danielle who had a bunch of mental health problems, and then the guy that she married who we kind of think could be, you know, swinging in a different direction?
Yeah.
You remember exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Danielle, and what was her husband's name?
I can't remember. Anyway. I think it might show up.
Yeah.
So basically, the drama is, so she came out, I think it was her initially. I'm trying to find an article that like describes the whole thing. Oh, here it is. Okay. So basically, several contestants from previous seasons alleged that filming the show was a traumatic experience that included high levels of exhaustion, insufficient meals, lack of sunlight, and panic attacks. They say producers took advantage of all of these things so that they could film. So season 2 contestant Danielle Rule says producers pressured her to stay on the show despite her vocalizing suicidal thoughts. So I guess one of the things that she said, let me see if I can find this article. So, oh God, it's one of these Business Insider articles you have to pay.
I hate that. I hate the paywalls.
I am not paying. I refuse.
I actually saw this thing, but I don't know if it's legal. But I saw this thing where it's like, if you're on a laptop, not more so than a phone,
right,
you can actually somehow get past the paywall. It's like into the coding, like, you know what I mean? Like if you like just go into like the weird, I don't know if you can still do it, but I saw this thing. How much is it
even? Oh my God, maybe we should pay.
No. I'm not paying Rose.
So anyway, so she, because I guess like in one of the, because you know, in order to get on the show, you have to have an interview or whatever.
Yeah. They probably have a lot of interviews and stuff, and like videos. And
she actually said, because you know she kept talking about her mental health during the thing, and she actually said that she mentioned it in their interview, and then she said, I felt like because of what I said in the interview about my mental health, I wouldn't get on the show because you know, obviously the thing is, realistically, if you have mental health issues, you probably should not be going on shows like this. Okay, you really should not be. But then, of course, that's going to create drama because if you're like bipolar or something, or if you have some mental health issues, unfortunately, that might appear entertaining. Yeah. Right? That's unfortunate.
But this is the thing. At the end of the day, guys, remember, it's a TV show. Like, if it was all lovey-dovey couples that had no drama, everyone would be like, this is fucking
like Brett
boring.
And Tiffany. That was boring as hell.
Exactly.
Because they were a perfect couple. Okay.
Exactly. They were like, oh, I love you so much. It's like, okay, cool. Like,
okay, cool. Next scene.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, continue.
So anyways, Nick was her husband's name. Yeah. So basically, they're very open right now, talking about the mental health struggles they faced. Basically, they were both like in a very dark place afterwards, apparently. And I don't know the exact all details. I guess she posted a TikTok talking about, the screening that she had with a psychologist, talking about her mental health journey, including past suicide attempts. And then during the show, producers were constantly bringing up past traumas in order to break you down emotionally and get the reaction they wanted. I thought the things I disclosed in the psych evaluation was confidential. And so she had to relive those things.
Oh my God.
Dude, that's pretty fucking bad. And then
that's so bad.
And then she had a panic attack during filming, which she said left her hiding in a closet with suicidal thoughts. After sharing she wanted to stop filming and go home, she claimed producers stepped in and convinced her to stay, but no therapist was provided to assist. Oh my God. Because I guess on a lot of different reality shows, they actually have therapists around. I had no fucking idea.
Damn.
Probably because of shit like this.
But also, if you think about it, like the premise of Love is Blind, like it is a TV show, right? Like at the end of the day, they want you to get to the altar, right? So like if like, for example, if you and me were on the show, we got matched, we're like, whatever, you know what I mean? Cause and I was like, at one point I'm like, okay, whatever. We knew that we weren't going to get married. Like me and you were just like, we're like, yeah, we know this isn't going to happen. Daniel's a homosexual. Or for other reasons. So we know that. So we're like, actually, let's just get off the show. Like we know that we're not. And the producers were probably like, no, you have to get to the altar. We have to have a story. Even if you're like, I don't want to be on here anymore. Like, I don't care. Like, so.
Exactly. It has to be entertaining. And I understand to some degree, obviously, you know, you're running a show, but obviously these are things you have to take into account. Like people's well-being is very important. Yeah. But this is the problem with all of these shows. It's like, they don't really care about your well-being.
They don't.
You know,
It's a
they
TV
really
show.
don't.
They want to
make
make
you
money.
look bad as well, you know,
Yeah.
on purpose. Yeah.
It's all about that edit. You know, you say one thing, they take it out of context, and they can really push a narrative. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like Kwame was saying, like with him and Chelsea.
Oh,
or Chelsea.
was it a narrative?
Was her name Chelsea?
Yes.
Yeah. He was saying like there was a couple scenes where he was like a little bit hesitant about their relationship.
Right. And
that's what they just put out there, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, they didn't
edit.
see half of the stuff that we talked about and we're
God
like
damn.
together about. You know what I mean?
So apparently, I think this is the Nick guy. Nick Thompson, I don't know, claimed that he was isolated from everyone and virtually everything for days at a time. I have heard this. So this is one of the things that they do to like break you down and make you act all crazy. It's like they basically just isolate you. They take away, you don't have your phone or anything. And then you just kind of like don't talk to anybody. So imagine you're like that for a few days and then they put you back on screen. Of course you're gonna act crazy.
But where are they isolating you? Like
I have
what
no
part
idea.
what part of the show are they doing
I'm
that?
assuming during the pods. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Or maybe in Mexico. Who the fuck knows, right?
Yeah.
Like, there could be a lot of situations because, like, none of it's real, right? Like, we have to realize, like, so much of it is so fake.
Yeah.
So they could be isolating them at any point, even when they're back in reality, you know? So anyways, that's the drama with Love is Blind. But apparently they've already filmed season 5, so.
Yeah. Have they really?
I think so.
Yeah, because they're usually a year
do,
behind.
exactly.
Because like they're always like whenever it's the reunion, it's a year later.
Mm-hmm.
So,
God damn,
I'm
Daniel.
guessing Nick and Vanessa are still the hosts for season 5.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Can you imagine trying to do that reunion after all that?
Oh my
Dude,
God.
I just feel bad for them.
God damn. So yeah, that would be horrible.
Yeah. So guys, word of warning before you try to go on one of these reality shows, maybe don't. Maybe don't.
I know. It's funny because like back in my younger days, guys, I did apply for Canada Big Brother.
Oh yeah, you did, and I helped you film it.
You did, yeah. Season 1 I applied for, and you know,
was it season 1?
it was the very first. It was like Canada Big Brother season 1, and I applied. And then looking back, I have my old video somewhere.
Oh,
I know, and you know,
we need to find it. Oh my God, I would die. It's probably so cute.
I do have it, but like I tried to play it on my MacBook, but it was filmed on like and edited on a Windows, so it's like having some compatibility issues. But anyway,
I remember filming. We were on university campus filming it. I still remember.
We filmed
like
on
went
campus.
all over the campus. It was so cute.
I have a couple scenes down by the Bow River as well. But moral of the story, I was like, oh yeah, I think it'd be really cool to be on Big Brother Canada. And then when I filmed, I also said like I'm not the kind of person that like is confrontational. Like I was like in my audio thing, I was like I'm not confrontational. I just like to have a good time.
That's probably where
and then
you
they
went
were
wrong.
like, and then the people that were on season 1, I seem to remember it was like a really cringy season because they picked like these super extreme people. So I was like, okay, that's why I didn't get on. Like I'm not that person, and I never will be. Right? Like
exactly.
So
exactly.
I probably
you can't be the boring person.
No.
Well, they might pick one boring person.
Yeah.
But like it's very hard to be the boring person and get picked on the reality show.
Exactly.
Not that you're boring.
No.
But you're not like dramatic.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, I'm not like a sociopath.
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of people that go on these
kind of have to be like a bit of a sociopath
and a narcissist, like a huge narcissist. Like you see these people like, and it's like, and again, I'm not throwing shade at all reality TV stars, but you're right. Like because they're on an entertainment show and people like, even like us, we want to be entertained. We even said like Tiffany and Brett on season 4, boring. We're fast forward through their section, which is bad that we're like that, but we're like, give us the drama, you know? So like I would be actually boring on a reality TV.
Yeah, we want drama. Okay. We don't want the love. We want drama. Anyway, so next story. This one's quite interesting. So, you know Aubrey Plaza? Do you know who that is?
Aubrey Plaza.
Did you watch White Lotus season 2?
Yes.
It's the woman that is
with the hot Asian guy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You like that Asian guy, hey?
Oof.
Oh, really?
I like.
What about the guy that he is rivals with? His friend?
Oh. Theo James?
Yes.
Theo James, if you're listening to this podcast,
he is a hottie.
We would like to interview you.
I'd like to do more than interview you.
Me and Rose are both single.
I think he's like married or something. I don't know.
I think he is too. There was a lot of hot men on White Lotus, okay?
Oh God, there's a lot of hot men. I mean, who else was well, the Asian guy, not really my type. I know you like the Asian guys.
Mm-hmm. He was
generally, I don't care about, race, Daniel. You know that, right?
Tell me another joke. Didn't realize you're a stand-up comedian today, Rose.
You think I care that much about race?
Oh, God damn.
I've dated every race under the sun.
If they ain't 6'2" and white, Rose does not want to know.
That's so not true, guys. Do not listen to him, okay? I've dated non-white people many times, okay? Mm-hmm. Anyways, they're all the same, okay? Yeah. They're all shit.
All men are shit.
All men are shit. All straight men. Okay, I'll say that. Anyway, so Aubrey Plaza was the woman that played Harper. There you go. That was her
Harper.
name.
Yeah. Harper.
She played Harper.
I like that name.
Yeah, she's a very, she's relatively famous. She's a famous actress.
She's been in quite a few things.
She has recently got into some heat though, because which is actually quite a fascinating thing from a vegan perspective. Okay. So she made this ad on Instagram. Okay. It was one of those Instagram reels. Okay. Yeah. And it was a clear, it was like an ad for dairy. Okay. And it was kind of like a parody, right? It was basically like her being like, oh, hi, I'm Aubrey Plaza. I don't know if she used her real name or whatever.
Yeah.
And I am the producer of Wood Milk. And she's basically kind of mocking dairy-free alternatives.
Like oat milk and almond milk.
By basically being like, look at all this wood that we're going to turn into milk. And it honestly wasn't, maybe I'm biased, I'm vegan, so like it wasn't funny, but I didn't think it was funny. But it was a clear attack at, non-dairy milks. And at the very end, she said something like, oh, like drink real milk instead or something like this, right?
Yeah.
The drama of it all. So basically she posted this.
Did the vegan community blow up?
Well, I don't even think it's just vegans, but it was a huge backlash.
Yeah.
First, I don't know if she disabled comments from the beginning, but the comments are just disabled under that video. So
y'all know if the comments have been disabled, there is some drama.
So basically, here's an article here. Aubrey Plaza is the new unfortunate face of the milk wars. So first of all, this is how we know that we're winning, because this is all they do now is like go on the defense.
But this was going to be my very first point that I was going to say once you finish telling me that like the whole story. Yeah. I was going to say, in many ways, actually, it's kind of like not good to see, but it's interesting and nice to see that the milk or the dairy industry is now having to put these ads out there. Because originally it was like, oh, milk alternatives were not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a big thing. And like, whereas now you go into the grocery store, and we've talked about this before, they're now starting to get a larger and larger shelf space. Before it was like they had like, and even in my lifetime, I've seen this in the last kind of couple of years. Because more and more people are not just vegans, but people are lactose intolerant. Yeah. They want dairy alternatives because they don't want to drink milk. And you see, like, look at your local grocery store. It's quite funny. You're seeing the shelf space for milk alternatives slowly increase. Like my local Safeway, like they have like quite a big section now. And I mean, obviously the dairy section is still huge, but it's not like it was before. So it's definitely creeping into that space at quite a fast pace. And I think
this is the one thing that is finally becoming more mainstream.
It's hugely mainstream now. Think about all the coffee shops now. Even our local, and they took so fucking long to do it. Tim Hortons.
Do they finally have dairy free?
So you can get oat milk in your coffee, almond milk, and soy.
Thank God.
They have it all. Yeah, because I go there.
You go there
relatively frequently.
Cheap and cheerful.
Exactly. I love it. The one place that seems to have not been hit by inflation.
Oh goddamn.
Yeah.
So anyways, so she's been getting tons of backlash. So it says here, the new ad for Big Dairy, Aubrey Plaza promotes fake wood milk, but the dairy industry's latest attempt to win over the youths has backfired big time.
Ooh.
It says, basically, like, anyway, they did this like kind of got milk style ad where at the very end she has that milk mustache. God damn, seriously, the shit that they did back then.
That marketing, honestly, that
was genius at the time.
It was, because like think about it, we all literally
remember that ad.
Every single person in the like almost in the North America for sure.
Yeah.
Even probably like parts of the UK, everywhere, like the milk mustache is like famous. Like that's how good their marketing was.
Yeah. And I still remember the text, the font they used.
Got milk.
Yeah. The exact font. I can picture it right now. Anyways, so now they're struggling. Like within, 10, 20 years, it's changed significantly. So basically, this article says, struggling against a world where the FDA has officially let almond, oat, and soy cop its name, Big Milk has probably paid Plaza huge bucks to convince the youth to please drink dairy. And then it went viral for all the wrong reasons. Yeah. And then...
So hang on, that comment about the FDA though, did all of the milk alternatives, did they have to change their names? Like they couldn't be called oat milk anymore?
I think they said they're allowing it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
So basically...
Because I remember the milk industry...
I think there was drama at first.
Yeah, because the milk industry was like, you cannot call it oat milk. You have to call it something else.
God,
it has to be
such bullshit.
It has to be oat beverage. Or like almond beverage. Yeah. And there was a big debate and debacle because like the milk industry was like, you can't call it milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I guess the non-dairy folks won, thank God.
Yeah.
But that's also another thing that keeps happening everywhere. It's like people saying, oh, you can't use, like if you're using an alternative, you have to use this language and this language. It's like, fucking calm the fuck down. Okay. Nobody's buying accidentally like fake, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Anyways, whatever. So it says, the plan has backfired. Instead of making non-dairy milk look stupid, the ad has gotten backlash from Plaza stands, making Big Dairy look stupid. They're calling the actress a dairy propagandist for siding with Big Milk. The outrage got so real that Plaza seemingly turned off comments and on her sponsored Instagram post. And then basically it just goes on. Let me try to read some of the top comments here. Because like the next post, the comments are on, right? This is the thing. If you're in the middle of a fucking PR nightmare and you've disabled Instagram comments on one post, you better disable them on basically all of them in the last, like, I don't know,
because people
months.
Be crazy.
Exactly. They're going to fucking scroll down so that they can leave a goddamn comment. So fucking disable all the fucking comments.
Because people want to be heard.
And then one of them says, really disappointed that you're not only endorsing dairy milk, but also participating in an ad that mocks plant milks. Unfollowing. People said, disappointing. Like, what the fuck? How disappointing. You are one of my favorite actors, and I cannot support someone that will take money from the dairy industry without any regard for the damage they're causing to the planet and to animals. Hope you change your stance on this. Until then, I won't be supporting anything you're working on. Woo! But yeah, all these comments are basically people...
Shit.
Yeah. So it's, it's strong, guys. Like it's because back then, again, this would not happen. You know what I mean?
This
a few
is
years ago, people would be like, you fucking crazy vegans, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
So there's actually so much backlash.
Interesting.
That I feel like there's a little bit of power.
Yeah. I wonder how much say. I mean, you still have say. Obviously, you're your own person, right? Like, if a company came up to me and was like, "Oh, we want you to do this commercial," like, if it's something like that where I would be like, no amount of money.
Right.
Like, I wonder if at the time she thought, oh, this isn't a big deal. Like, it's not
I think that's
it's just
what
a
she
joke.
Thought.
It's just a mockery or whatever.
I think that's what she thought.
Yeah.
She clearly doesn't know. I feel like, okay, this is like, I'm being charitable. I don't know, right? Yeah. I don't know anything about this person. But yeah, my thought process is that she doesn't really know much about, the issues with dairy.
Yeah.
And maybe she doesn't really care to consume plant milks.
Yeah.
She's one of those people, right? She's probably just like a lot of people that are just kind of ignorant on these issues. That's my guess.
Yeah.
So then they're like, oh, why don't let's talk about milk, let's get people drinking milk again. And then she, she's like, what, a little bit older than us maybe?
Yeah, a little bit older.
She grew up as a millennial, saw the Got Milk ads, probably fed all the propaganda about how milk makes you strong, gives you calcium, all this stuff. It's the real thing. It's natural, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So she probably was like, yeah, that doesn't sound harmful. So I don't think she knew that. I don't think she knows. Like, I think she just went along with it.
Yeah.
Because she's just a person, right? It's not like, so I don't think it's right to like, fully
ostracize her
or like go on a hate campaign. But I do think she probably realized she made a huge PR mistake.
But I also think that in some ways it's kind of good because I think it will also pose her the question to maybe question things a little bit more. So like if she has another brand or company that's like, hey, can you do this commercial with me? Like maybe do a little bit more research, look into it a bit more before
like
just being like,
how would people react, you think?
Exactly. Like obviously you can't foresee everything, right? Like you could end up being in a commercial that people fucking hate for whatever reason.
Right.
Not just about this one, but like anything. And you wouldn't have foreseen that, right? Like there are certain things, but I think with something like this is maybe do a little bit of research and like look into it. Like,
and also it's not just like a commercial for milk, right? Like I don't think people would have had the backlash. I don't think she would have gotten the backlash that she did if it was just like being like, hey, drink milk.
Yeah.
Instead it was basically like, fuck all these plant-based milks.
Yeah.
It was basically making fun of something that so many people now drink.
Yeah.
And
I think honestly, if you're making a commercial, I always, and this is just my own personal opinion, but I always used to cringe at the commercials that like
make fun of competitors.
Yeah. That try to like bash competitors. I'm like, you know what? If your product is so good, you don't need to do that. Like show us what the benefit of then this is just my perspective, obviously, but I'm always like, it always never sat well with me. That was like, oh, well, this brand thinks they do this, but actually we do it so much better. And I'm like, well, instead of making that comparison, show me the features.
Sure.
What makes your product like what is the special feature of your product that would pull me in? I don't need to know about the competitors. I don't care what they're doing because if depending on what I want to do, I'll figure that out. Like what I want to get. It doesn't sit right with me. It's like trying to get ahead by like knocking someone else.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if we had the same like, you know, let's say we both had a cafe.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, don't go to Rose's cafe because our coffee is so much better. You know, like it's just not, it doesn't sit well. It's stupid.
Icky,
yeah.
I think though the reason is because dairy, you know, for a long time the propaganda worked, right?
Oh,
like
hugely.
Calcium, that shit worked. You know, all this other stuff worked.
Periodic table of elements. Periodic table of food.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you, the periodic table of food?
Not the periodic. What's
you
it
mean
called?
the pyramid.
The food pyramid. Yes.
I was like, the periodic table.
I don't know what I'm talking about, guys.
That's chemistry, ain't it? Anyway, I was like, is milk in the chemistry jar?
It is.
Anyways, so I think for a long time it worked.
Yeah.
And because it worked, you know, it was fine. Like, whatever. You didn't have to convince people to fucking drink milk. You know, people were addicted to that shit to begin with.
Exactly. And I have to say, like, honestly, like, again, I have a lot of issues with the dairy industry for numerous reasons. But, like, one thing I can say is back in the day, they had one hell of a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, and it's not even just about we talked about the milk mustache. Everybody knows about this stuff. But also the fact that they were able to integrate dairy into, like, every product you can imagine.
That's still happening because of all of this.
Exactly. Like think about how just normalized it is to have like milk with everything, cheese. Like they have just done
everywhere.
Exactly. Like honestly, like it blows my mind.
Because even if you look at like vegetarian options, right? They're all covered in cheese.
Yes.
All has milk. Yep. All has cream. They've just infiltrated every part of like food in North America.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're freaking out about plant milks, I think is a good sign.
Exactly.
Because clearly there's some kind of threat there.
Of course. Well, and I think the main thing is like to that point that we mentioned earlier is they are seeing like it's not even just that plant-based milk is there. It's the fact that the sales are growing.
Yes.
Right. Like,
and the attitude has changed.
Yes.
We've now see this shift in attitude where people now know that A, we don't need milk for strong bones.
Yeah.
And B, all the young people especially, right? Like we're thinking young people that are now going to grow up and teach their kids to drink whatever they're going to drink.
Yeah.
It's completely shifting.
Yeah.
So if young people are starting to not drink dairy milk, then they're basically fucked.
And I would also argue that the younger generation, like the generation just before us, also.
What are they called?
I think that's like Gen Z.
No, Gen Z is after us. Come on, Daniel.
Yeah, I meant like.
You said before us.
Oh no, sorry. I meant
you meant after.
After.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. Sorry.
Gen Z.
Sorry. After. I'm mixing my words.
Okay.
So Gen Z and the younger than that. I think also this is the kind of era where we're getting a lot of kids that are growing up in this era that are like the Greta Thunbergs and like am I saying her name right? Greta
Thunberg. I don't know.
Now
I don't know how to
I know.
say it.
Anyway, like we're getting more emphasis on climate change and things like that. So I think the youth of today are now. We do bug them and we say they're a little bit sensitive and, you know, they, them and all that kind of stuff. But I think in many ways they are more focused on environmental stuff, things like that, where they're putting more pressure and like they're not just taking the status quo, you know, because they're seeing real life. Like we're even seeing it now is the detrimental things that are happening on the planet. And they're like, what the fuck, guys? Like what's happening?
Yeah.
So
yeah, Aubrey Plaza, big no.
God damn.
Bad PR move.
Yeah, but how like refreshing is that to see?
Thank God.
To see that there's all that backlash. And
yes,
it kind of
usually
like,
be like, you vegans are fucking crazy.
Exactly.
Leave her alone.
Exactly.
So I'm sure there are people saying that, but also it's like, come on now.
I mean, you're always gonna get that. There's still people out there that don't believe climate change is a thing. Like you're never gonna convince the masses.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to convince everybody.
Yeah, sorry. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. You're never going to get 100% of this is the thing that's so messed up about humanity is like we will never, all of us, every single person on the planet, 100% agree on anything.
I know, that's crazy.
It will never happen.
There's also too many of us.
Yeah.
You know what I was watching the other day, actually? Yesterday. I was at my parents' house and then my dad likes those nature shows, like you like those.
Yeah.
And he put on like chimps or something. There's something about
chimps.
Yeah,
I saw that. I didn't watch it yet. No.
Oh, but it's actually really interesting. Like I don't watch these nature shows.
Yeah.
But like when it's on, I find it very intriguing.
They're fascinating. That's why I have so many random facts about animals, Rose.
I know. You should watch the chimps one.
I'm going to.
So what's fascinating is because we're very closely, like genetically very close to these chimps. And these guys are fucking vicious, man. Yeah. They like, there was this one part. I mean, I might give, spoiler or whatever. But like, cause they travel in tribes, right?
Yeah.
They're social creatures. They're in tribes, and they take care of the tribe, and apparently they're very territorial.
Extremely.
So apparently, but then they also, they have certain amount of resources, and there's like fruit trees in this one territory. So this one tribe was like trying to get to the other territory because they know there's a good fruit tree.
And they want that fruit tree.
They want that fruit tree. So they're like, making their way into this other territory. And then they found another chimp from the other tribe, and they fucking killed him, man.
Yeah.
They fucking killed him.
Well, I watched this thing also about chimps as well. And because scientists were studying them and stuff, and they were like thinking that they were more gentle originally. Right. And then they realized how fucking crazy these things are, like the chimps are. And like, they actually got this footage of them. Like they actually like hunt other monkeys to eat them and stuff.
There's a scene there.
Yeah. And they
I
were
didn't
like,
know that. I thought they were herbivorous.
No. Apparently they eat, but they're omnivorous.
Yes.
Yeah, they do eat like more like fruit and stuff.
Yeah.
But like they also will hunt other monkeys and like to have meat and all this stuff. And like the researchers were like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like they were just shocked,
So anyway, my conclusion was, no wonder us humans are fucked.
Yeah.
This is our close fucking
relative. Like the actual like. I mean, and even these guys can be aggressive as well as the gorillas. Like they're they're more.
I heard chimps are scarier.
Yeah, chimps are more aggressive,
right?
Because generally, what happens, like again, this is all like hearsay, like not hearsay, like who knows, like exactly, right. But like generally, like gorillas, they have like a pretty stable family situation.
Okay,
so you have like the silverback with like the women that he's.
Look at you knowing
with.
all this stuff.
Damn.
What else?
Silverback is a sign of a mature male that like looks after the troop.
That's the alpha male.
It is, yeah. Okay. And then like they'll live and coexist in their like family thing, but the silverback's very protective of his like females and everything else. And like if another male tries to come in,
does he have multiple wives? You said
yes.
Okay.
They live in a very multiple
polyamorous.
Yeah. But then also
again, patriarchal society.
Yeah, but then also that's kind of fucked up because then if a new silverback takes over the tribe, he will go around and like kill all the like babies from the other silverback.
My God, no wonder we're fucked.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Guys, no wonder. Maybe it's just in our genes to be like fucking evil, And
we're going against nature, Rose.
Well, what's interesting is about apparently with the chimps. So this is what's different, I guess, from humans. Maybe we've evolved a little bit past this.
Yeah.
Whereas chimps, they basically stick to the tribe and like everyone else is the enemy, essentially.
Yeah.
But maybe also it's because they're like living in this like fucking world where resources are limited and they're fighting for their lives every day. That's probably why.
We're also resource limited though, Rose.
Well, I mean, as we sit here in front of a fucking
laptop, phone,
lights, everything
in your beautiful 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? I'm going to go home to my 2-bedroom apartment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's quite interesting. So I guess anyone outside the tribe, whereas we would be, again, we weren't like this always, right? We used to, hate each other based on race and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we still do sometimes, obviously, but, now we're a lot more like, you don't have to be in our little group in order for us to like get along.
Yeah.
But I guess with chimps, it's every chimp for himself outside the fucking tribe.
Scary as hell.
Scary as a fucking hell.
You have to watch it.
Anyway, oh my God, it's actually really interesting. I kind of want to actually watch it.
I know. Honestly, there's been so many like neat things I've seen. Like, for example, like just on another side note, like killer whales, orcas are, I mean, we already know that they're so intelligent, but like each area of different orcas, they've come up with like different hunting techniques. And like there's this one, again, I think it's gone viral or whatever. There was this scene of this like little seal, and the seals often go into like the ice floats for protection. You know what I mean? Because they're not in the water. The killer whales can't get them. So this one group of killer whales, it was what they would do is if the seal was on like a small thing of ice, the whales would swim together to create a wave to like push the seal off the ice.
Oh God!
And then into the water, and then they'd eat it, right? But the seal, I don't know if the seal figured it out, but this one seal happened to be on a really big thing of floating ice.
Right.
And so even no matter how big the wave was, like they wouldn't be able to get it off. So what do?
Oh God.
They fucking break up the ice, get the ice block that the seal's on, push it out so that it's further out in the water, and then fucking do the wave. I was like, these animals are so smart. Like literally.
Damn, Daniel. It always breaks. I know it's part of nature, but it break my little heart.
God damn.
Break my little
heart. And that poor seal's just like on the ice flow like this. Like literally they're like, we're fucked. Like I can't get out of this.
No, can you just imagine the terror? Yeah. Oh God, I can't.
Because they know, like they're like, we're just not gonna get out of this.
You're fucked, basically. Yeah. Oh
yeah.
It breaks my heart. My heart.
Damn.
And then the scene where there's a scene where basically the chimps of the dead chimp, the same tribe.
Yeah.
They like discover the dead body because he was by himself, right?
Yeah.
That was the big like problem.
Yeah.
He was by himself. And then they're all like crying, and it's like, well, not like fully crying, but like, you know, they're making the noises.
Emotional.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So emotional. Anyway, I have one more story I have to talk about.
'Kay.
Okay. It's going to be a short one.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So it says here, more Gen Zers own homes at 25 years old than millennials or Gen Xers did at the same age. Almost 1/3 of 25-year-olds in the United States owned their home in 2022, edging out their millennial and Gen X. I guess Gen X is the generation before us.
Yeah.
Counterparts, according to a new report. Home ownership rates among millennials, 28%, and Gen Xers, 27% when they were 25. Registers lower than Gen Z, which is 30%.
But that doesn't make sense to me. Because but like honestly, guys, like this is when I would like question this, only because, and it's not that I want to discredit this article.
Yeah.
But like also, if you look at what's been happening, right? Like from our generation to the younger generations before us, it's like number one, salaries have not increased.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like our salary is similar to somebody that's just starting out at work. Student debt overall has increased from our generation to previous ones. And home prices have gone through the roof from our generation when we were 25 to now.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense. How are they able to afford it? Like, are they getting a lot of help or?
I think that's the theory.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people are saying. I don't know if it's true. I haven't really fully looked into this. Let's see this article. It says many Gen Zers took advantage of the historically low mortgage rates during the COVID-19 pandemic years of 2020 and 2021.
So
that's
now they're going to be fucked when the mortgage rates go up.
Right, because after 5 years, usually you have to re-sign. And then the report is based on national data. So 25-year-olds' median monthly mortgage payment in 2021 was $1,013.
What?
That's fucking tiny.
That is
which is 16% of their $74,900 median income.
That also seems high. Exactly, that seems high. Like this is a very weird article, Rose.
But again, this is like the entire country, right? So
and that's also the U.S.
We're taking into account exactly New York City, fucking San Francisco.
True.
They do get paid a lot depending on,
That's true. But and also, I don't know if you've been seeing lately on TikTok, because I know you're always on TikTok. But the Canadian real estate market is like
insane,
the craziest in the world. Like it's like
it's like the worst. You mean?
Yeah, in terms of like overall like growth and how fast the prices have gone up and everything.
Right.
They're like Canada's like, I don't know. I think we're number one or number two, not in terms of value like necessarily, but how like fast and crazy it went over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good.
It's not good.
No.
So what are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Is it because of foreign investment?
Well, there's a number of factors. I think there's a lot of people there because they're saying like foreign investment's part of it, but it's just like in generally, it's not the biggest piece of the problem.
Right.
The biggest piece of the problem really is starting to become like a lot of these like real estate investment trusts.
Right.
And like hedge funds and all of these massive, because real estate's looked at as like, you can
we keep looking at it as an investment.
That's the issue. So I think that people talk about all these different stuff, but really when it comes down to it, like real estate, like if we continue to look at it as an investment and that's all that it ever is to people, you're going to continue to have these massive companies that own like so much property, which does so many things. It forces a lot of people out of the market. It drives prices up because a lot of these companies, what they'll do is like they also don't want the price to ever go down because then their investments go down.
It's never going to go down.
Exactly. So like even if like logically it doesn't make any sense. Like in Canada, the real estate market doesn't make sense. Like the average house price in Toronto, I think it was like over $1 million. Like something fucking crazy. I could be like mixing this up a little bit, but like
the Toronto, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's like the average salary there is like, I don't know, not much. 70K or something. Yeah. So even if you have two people on 70K, 140K, maybe a little bit more, like they're struggling to get into the housing market. So it's like, who's buying these properties? Who is enough people? Because you have to think like to sustain a real estate market, you need to have enough people buying.
Right.
Right. Like it doesn't matter. Yeah, there's a few people that are in the top 1% that can, continue to buy, but they don't buy as much as the masses. Right.
Right.
So then it's like, who the fuck is buying all this? Well, it's like the hedge funds. It's the real estate investment trusts. It's like all these.
Right.
And now I saw this ad for everyday people like us can now buy a chunk of a property through this like investment vehicle. And I'm like, this is
off.
I'm like, this is going to make the problem worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause now you're saying, hey, me and Rose can put like $2,000 and we own a part of this building, but we're not really, you know what I mean? Like, and then using that as an investment.
This is the issue, is constantly telling people that, yes, I get it, it's an investment.
Yeah.
But it just really fucking irks me.
Yeah.
Because now it's gone too far.
Yeah.
And so many people just view buying a home as just an investment.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
like, people need a home to live.
Exactly. Like, people talked about this as well. Like, maybe there should be, and I don't know what the right answer is, guys, either, but like people were saying, hey, you know what? Maybe there should be a cap on how many investment properties you can own. Mm-hmm. And maybe we won't allow these big investment funds to invest in property. Like, maybe that's something that happens. Or, you know, maybe we don't allow foreign investment into real estate.
To some degree.
But then the second that you do that, you could essentially implode the housing market.
Right.
Right. So
I know, because now it's gone wild.
It's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently Gen Z, they're fucking buying up homes.
God damn. That's a very, very strange article.
It's just very interesting.
Yeah.
It says record low mortgage rates, remote work, providing freedom to move somewhere more affordable.
That actually makes, now it's starting. Okay, that kind of makes some sense.
And skyrocketing rental costs.
Yeah.
Have motivated some Gen Zers to break into the housing market. While the oldest of their generation has just graduated college when the pandemic started and hadn't started building up their bank accounts, they had some financial advantages. The unemployment rate was near record lows, blah, 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 blah.
So I get it. You know what? Actually, that makes sense, because I guess during COVID, right? Like, you could work remotely. So that opened up the opportunity to move. Like, you don't have to live in the city anymore. You could live in a small town and buy a house. So I could see that. They could
live in the suburban hellscape and buy a house.
Exactly. They could choose to live in
the middle of butt-fuck nowhere.
Timbuktu.
Exactly.
You know?
So who knows? Apparently, you know, they're not struggling as much as we thought they would.
Then we'd be the struggling generation, Rose.
Millennials are just, you know, we just fucked.
But they still have record student debt and stuff. Like, that didn't go away.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm sure. And I'm sure this is not, you know, obviously there are still a lot of people struggling.
Well, and also, like, we're seeing this now, like, with people that got into the mortgage, got a mortgage with those record low rates.
Yeah.
Now, if they're on a variable rate, they're paying a lot more now. Or if they're on a fixed, you fix, at least in Canada, you fix for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So after the 5 years, you better hope that interest rate
has it gone down yet?
I think
what the fuck's going on?
I think it stayed the same, Roses.
Damn,
I haven't been following it so much.
Some of us don't have to, I guess.
I'm locked in for 5 years.
Damn, Daniel. Anyway. And on that positive note,
thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching this video on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys. Hit that thumbs up on the video. Send us some love in the comment section down below. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, don't forget to hit follow. You'll get updated as soon as there's a new episode. Also, check out our Patreon page, guys, patreon.com/the SaVeg podcast, and get exclusive content that we do an exclusive episode every single month. You also get every episode a week before everyone else, and it's all ad-free content on there. So really, really great. So check it out.
Damn.
And also, guys, if you don't have plans in August, come and join me and Rose. We are going to Thailand and Bali. We booked our flights. It's official.
God. It's official.
We are going. We're super excited. So yeah, check that out. Again, the links for both those trips and a little bit of the itinerary, description, all that is in the show notes. So feel free to check it out. And if you want to join us, then
join us, you guys. Get all the info. Links are below. Thank you so much for listening. And we're gonna go record our Patreon exclusive now.
Damn.
So make sure you check out our Patreon to listen to that exclusive.
That raw content.
Yeah.
All
right, guys. Bye.
Bye.